Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated backyard superstar Tim Vicious. And, well, before I go into this week's show again, I gotta keep on addressing Nick Meltzer McGee at PW Smart Talk. Brother, you've become more of a pestilence little pain in my side now that you've been fired, more so than when you were in charge. Nick, you lost. Deal with it, man. I pigeonholed your story last night. You're saying that you're now in charge of NXT. You're head of creative there. Bull to the shit. Nick, if you were, and this is a big if, what would that leave William Regal at? And we all know your boy Josh, who, by the way, is still gonna get a good old-fashioned ass whooping for doing what he did to me right here. He is nowhere near power. He was in charge, went crazy, whacked me in the back of the head, quit, got reinstated, and then got fired when your ass got tossed out with him. Deal with it, man, because seriously, your paranoid delusions, and you keep on blasting all of your hate towards me and my client, brother, you are doing nothing more but pushing me closer and closer to relacing them boots and giving you the hardest DDT that has ever been given. You think the one Jake Roberts did to Ricky Steamboat was nice? Trust me, you ain't seen nothing yet. You know? You don't want to fuck with me. I am not a person you want to have on their bad side. Alright, so now that I've done dealing with the douchebaggery and the bovine fecal-like matter that has come out of Nick Meltzer McGee, on to this week's show, talking about TLC, which apparently, according to KFAB News, I could have used to, or not so much me, but my brother could have probably used to help lure his wife to watch just because of the simple acronym. Can't believe I never thought of that before until I read that article in KFAB News. Anyways, moving on. Pre-show, New Day versus Goldust versus the Dust Brothers. Folks, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that match live. I was actually on my way home to watch the pay-per-view when that match went on because I went to the local wrestling show here in Erie. Got to see the big guy for Erie, John McChesney, going up against Matt Hardy. That was a good match, but neither here nor there. I'm not talking about that. But as far as with the New Day, yeah, again, I keep on saying and I keep on stressing it. I don't get the bit. You know, I mean, okay, you're here to spread positivity, that's all well and good, but you're not really doing it. I mean, pretty much Cole, Lawler, and JBL are being your mouthpieces, which is saying something because all three of you are supposed to be like preachers, which is probably another reason on why I have an issue with the group, because that's a lot of preachers. But yeah, I mean, Anyways, Dust Brothers came out. Cody was sporting green face paint that night, which that was pretty cool. You know, that could be Cody's new thing. Just going, doing different colors on a regular basis. You know, green, blue. You know, Monday night, the Fallout Raw, he did silver. And yeah, it's just different ones like that can wind up changing it. I can see that. But as far as what the match goes, it was what you would expect for a kickoff show. The more so, the big gripe that I had with that than anything was the fucking commentary. Cause, oh, for the love of God. The whole time, Cole, Lawler, and JBL are doing nothing but talking about the fucking Flintstones and the Great Gazoo because Cody was wearing green. And seriously, Lawler, you're the oldest guy that's actively on camera for WWE. You expect people to not think you don't know about the Flintstones. For fuck's sake, I'm gonna be 30 in like 4 months, and I know about the Great Gazoo and the Flintstones, and you're gonna go there and act like you don't? Besides, Jerry, if anything, you hang, with all them little kids you keep going after, you figure you would know that, so that way you can try and lure them. But yeah. I mean, that was my biggest issue as far as what that match went, was the commentary. I mean, the match itself, it was what you would expect. Match came to an end, they now call that move the Midnight Hour. It's a spiked big ending. That's all. And it was, But yeah, that was it. I mean, they wound up doing the exact same match Monday night, but instead of Kofi, they had Woods out there, which they should be using him more so, because if anything, he's the one that needs this stable and this gimmick more than anyone else. More than the other guys. But, again, that's just me, my view, my thought on it. Now, so now we're on to the main show. They kick off the show with the ladder match with Ziggy versus Harper. And I bring it up every time, but seriously, they keep on billing every time they're in Ohio, or in Cleveland, I should say. They always bill Ziggler from Cleveland, but the second they get outside of there, boom, they go and say, "Oh, he's from Hollywood, Florida." Fuck! Seriously, stick to the script and stick to the plan. If he's from Cleveland, say he's from Cleveland. If you're gonna say he's from Hollywood, Florida, say he's from fucking Hollywood, Florida. It's not that hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like that Ziggler came out with the Cleveland Browns elf on his trunks, and that he had a Kent State hoodie, but, you show your pride on where you're from. Me, I constantly, and I mean constantly, always made sure I was, even though I live here in Erie, I always said, make sure you bill me from Philadelphia. Not just Philadelphia, from South Philadelphia. And I was always adamant on that. If anything, Ziggler needs to start doing something like that. Make sure, listen, either have me here from Florida or have me here from Ohio. Don't make me do both. That's my big issue with that, because that's just constantly a pet peeve of mine. But next, so when Harper, next thing you know, they started going at it, and wow, this was a match. I mean, I know a lot of people said this was match of the night, short from the main event, which I'm not going to say. I'll get to that later, because I know some of you have not watched this show and are actually looking to me for that, but you're going to have to wait. The match itself, wow, it was pretty friggin' intense. I absolutely loved it. Not just me, but you had guys like Edge and Austin going putting their praises for the match also, which, that's kind of, you're getting Edge, who pretty much, set the bar for ladder matches. I think that kind of gives you an idea of on how good of a match he gave. You know, it's legitimately there were a couple times I really thought Ziggler and Harper got like broken in half. You know, between every time they got slammed into the ladders. Saw on there, Ziggler wound up getting ripped on his finger, like somewhere around inside here. It was either his middle or maybe his pointer, I don't know. But he also caught one up here because you could see the blood pour down him. First thing I thought of was, oh shit, don't tell me Vince is going to wind up finding him. You know, and Harper got busted open also. And Harper went to go do a suicide dive like he normally does. But right as he did, wham! Ziggler threw a ladder up, caught him. And the way he hit it, you'd have thought his arm got broke. Which I'm surprised his arm didn't break in half from that. But yeah, all in all, I absolutely love this match. It was a good, solid way to start the show. Ziggler won, which I've been calling it since they announced that match. Ziggler needed to win because they needed to capitalize on his momentum. You know, obviously, they're not going to put him in the world picture, and if they are, they're not going to do it just yet. You know, you got to utilize and capitalize on him. Right now, he's working the mid-card. So have him do that. Have him do that, and then after, and if, and I emphasize if, they go and push Ziggler up to the main title chase, you know, then drop the title, lose 1 or 2 matches, and then put him in the title spot. That's on how I would do it. You know, that's just me and my opinion on the matter. Next up, it's tag team match Usos versus Miz and Mizdow. And again, Mizdow he made the entire freaking match. You know, I absolutely love Mizdow, in which case I gotta give him credit because if it wasn't for him, I would actually not care at all one bit about the ball bag, any match that the ball bag is in. And yes, that night I was worried because I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but I'm going to get this out there now while it's fresh in my head. Miz did attempt to go for the figure 4 at one point in the match, in which case all I thought was, oh god, no, not the kittens. Please, somebody think of the kittens. And yeah, because, like I said, every time Miz does the figure 4, a kitten dies. Folks, please think of the kittens. Yeah, pretty sure we all know my view on how well Miz does the figure 4. But as far as what the match goes, it was pretty decent. I mean, but I dug it. I mean, I dug it for the most part. I mean, the Usos wound up getting the win from a DQ, but you know, I mean, I'm just thinking, I mean, that went against what I thought they would have done and they should have done, because really you don't want to give, you know, Sandow is over now. He's over with the crowd, you know, doing the mimickings like the Miz and all. They wound up getting him over, making his own shots for the moves, you know, like when he did his own suplex to himself, you know, that got him over. But I don't get it. They should have had them drop the titles that night. Miz blame Mizdow for it and argue with him on it. Mizdow just being like, "Oh, what, huh?" And then just Miz straight up, wham! Deck him, walk away, and then start up something with them on Monday night. But they didn't. Instead, they're just doing this thing now with Miz and Uso one of the Usos, whichever one's married to Naomi, and the only reason I remember her name is because Naomi spells Imon backwards. Keep that in mind, fellas. But yeah, they're pushing some story between them two, and yeah. Next up, it's the stairs match. I don't even know where to begin, because honestly, at first you say, we're having a stairs match. All I'm thinking, how do you win a stairs match? What do you climb up them? Or is it kind of like a Stairmaster? The first one to reach like a certain floor doing a Stairmaster wins? Or but it's yeah, this you ever see a trailer for a movie that you just naturally know is gonna suck? Yeah, that's pretty much on how the match was with this, especially given that they were doing a tail of the tape for the steps. And ugh. I mean, I know I give Rowan and Show credit that they did everything they could for the match. I mean, Rowan making the Great Wall of Stairs, as I called it. But, you know, and then Show spearing him through it. But, really. Ugh. That was the worst match of the night. I mean, personally, they should have gotten rid of that and wound up rehashing Hornswoggle and Torito and doing a WLC match, which... I would have loved that! A WLC match and get the little tiny tables again! Oh, that would have so made that. That would have been great. That would have been so great. Oh, but sadly, we didn't get it. Now, on how the ending came to be, Show wound up taking out Rowan and then put the stairs on top of him, and then put himself on top. So then he got the 1, 2, 3. So they say Big Show won, but technically, since the stairs were laid down on top of Rowan, I think technically that means those stairs won the match. I mean, that's just I'm just going off if you want to break it down on the technicality aspect. Yeah. Next matchup, it's tables match, Seth and Cena. And wait, halfway through the pay-per-view, Cena is in the mid-card match. Oh yeah, that's right. That would mean Wyatt and Ambrose are main eventing. And in the immortal words of Teddy Long, holla holla players! Okay, I'm done now. Not really. I'm still gonna wind up being a unfunny ass. So work with it, folks. Tables match: Seth and John Cena. I thought it was a good match. You know, it could have been better. You know, I mean, it was really nice. You know, they've had Paul out there. They have Paul Heyman out there, and you know, whole time watching, observing, like, okay, let's see what these guys can do. You know, and it was real nice to see. I liked it, and you didn't see them like go all major animalistic as far as like trying to find different ways to put someone through a table. I mean, the one that I seen that I thought was pretty cool was Cena was laying up against the ring post. Seth grabbed Noble or Mercury, one of them, held the table up and went to go throw it right through and split the table right down the middle. And yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, and ref wound up taking a bump. Seth wound up going through the table. Next thing you know, Noble and Mercury came in, interfered, got rid of the evidence, and if anyone's ever seen a mob movie, I'm pretty sure you would get this reference right here, but I never really pegged Noble and Mercury as the type to be cleaners. You know, I'm just throwing that out there. I've never really pegged them to be the cleaners. You know, more like the hired muscle. But you know, I mean, Seth wound up getting John through a table. Ref didn't notice it, and then Show came down, wound up helping, was working Cena, so that way Seth could get him, and then boom. Cue the music, cue the lights. Who comes out? Roman Reigns. Yep, that's right. Reigns came back. In all fairness, though, he did say he was going to come back at this month. We all knew he would. I didn't peg it for tonight. I didn't peg it for that night, I should say. He came out, took out Show, wound up taking everyone else out, and and then just left. And I know a lot of people are saying that they don't think Roman's ready, but in all fairness, though, while we all say we'd like to see this guy in the main event spot, this guy in the main event spot, and that guy, all this, that, and the other, no one is ever honestly, truly 100% ready. Everyone always has that small little bit of self-doubt, and we all kind of have that, well, yeah, I could see him in a main event spot, and we all kind of have that, I hope he can fit in it good kind of worry on from a fan perspective, but yeah, Batista wound up getting put in the main event spot just about as fast as Reigns did. So you can't really say too much about with Reigns with them pulling the trigger on Roman so fast. Batista wound up getting that kind of a push also. And and again, I keep reiterating, when they came on the scene, I called it like a motherfucker, saying Roman Reigns is going to, when they break up eventually, Roman Reigns is going to get a push just like Batista, and now, lo and behold, look at what's happening. But yeah, Cena wound up getting the win, so that means now we're going to wind up seeing Cena versus Brock at the Rumble, which, on one hand, I can't really complain too much because I really want to see Brock Lesnar kick John Cena's ass again. But on the other hand, it's kind of like seeing the same fight over and over and over and over. Yeah. Next up, it was the ST Divas match. AJ versus the Bella that wound up getting the boob job. Yeah. Well, they had one real women's wrestler in the ring. They had AJ, and yeah. You hear that awkward silence? That pretty much describes on how this match was. Yeah. Did not care for this match one bit. Yeah, and honestly, it's the women's division on the main roster is just god awful. I mean, seriously, the women's roster on NXT is blowing them out of the water, and their roster is less has less than what's on the main roster. And yet they're still able to pull off more phenomenal 5-star matches. And I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges, as far as like was TakeOver better than TLC or what, but in all honesty though, I'm saying that really, it's the main roster, it pretty much sucks. You're putting more of a focus on them being on the damn reality show than on given matches, and ugh. But yeah, it's the Bella wound up winning. AJ wound up getting sprayed in the eye with something, I'm guessing. And folks, if you're having kids watch this, you may want to plug their ears because this is going to be the expletive deleted part. Okay, now that they're plugged, I'm gonna go on a whim and guess that she wound up getting sprayed with the lube that she was saving for when John won, so that way they could both have their quote unquote celebration. And also, really, I couldn't help but laugh. We all crack jokes on the Bellas when they come out with their ring gear or on how they're dressed normally. But oh my god. Oh my god, the skinny little scrawny one, that's her sister. What's her name? Mozzarella or Gouda or goat cheese or something like that. I know she's named after some kind of a cheese. She came out looking like a reject between a dirty hippie and one of those yuppie woman feminists from like 1992, which I couldn't help but laugh at. Seriously, somebody needs to go and talk to that girl and show her a real wardrobe, Not saying that she needs to, it's simple enough. Get a half-decent pair of jeans, grab her a regular old t-shirt, and boom, there you go, kid. But yeah, next matchup, it was a chairs match with Kane versus Fuck Knuckle, or Right Hard. Ugh. Why they're doing this, I still can't figure out. Kane does not deserve this. Yeah, he's been with the company since for God knows how long. But Kane, you're still pushing the corporate Kane part. Okay, if you want to have Kane be unmasked, that's all well and good. But, have him be unmasked, but, do something with him that would work for him, Like, for example, and the wheels are still spinning in my head on this. Authority's gone. Have Kane slowly, go and start getting twisted and more warped. Do something to show that he's starting to come more into his demon side again, and then just have him wear his black and red trunks like when he was doing the mask thing, but no mask, and just say, I'm still, the corporate Kane or whatever, but I'm more into, I've now fully accepted my the demon side of me and the corporate side, whatever, something like that. But have Kane be more, do more with Kane like that. The guy's only got so many more years left in the ring. Really, the man deserves one last run in the main event spot. But the chairs match, I did not like. It was a half-decent match, yeah, but, honestly, aside from that, just the whole idea of a chairs match in general just really don't get, really it doesn't get me. I mean, how do you win a chairs match? Is it like a stairs match, but instead of climbing stairs you have to sit in a chair? You know, I understand you want to do gimmick matches and all, but seriously, what the flying fuck? This just really blew, and I was pissed off at the fact that, you know, Ryroyd wound up winning, and now they're going to wind up pushing something with him and Rusev for, you know, especially considering that them two had a big stare down on Raw. And speaking of Raw, I jumped for joy because of the fact Kane wound up getting over, and I mean legitimately over, when on Raw, because not only did he take out Adam Rose, thank God, but he took out the bunny and gave the bunny a tombstone. In which case, also speaking of Rose, I know everyone else noticed it. This is me giving a theory here. I'm pretty sure now the Rosebuds are now all people that are indie stars that WWE, that the fans want WWE to sign but don't. Because case in point, Monday night, Rosebuds, the two big ones that everyone noticed, Scarlett and Jimmy Jacobs. Seriously, y'all need to stop fucking around getting top quality talent like that just to play extras. Because, I mean, for fuck's sake, you had Sassy Steph and Cherry Bomb as Rosebuds also, and those two can help make up a good women's division. But instead, you don't mind having them play extra for a character who everyone pretty much now just doesn't even fucking like. Have Rose go heel, become Leo Kruger, and completely wipe out the whole Adam Rose bit whatsoever. You know? Next matchup, it was the U.S. title match, Rusev versus Swagger. And normally this is the part where I talk about on how Lana had the mic and was doing her anti-U.S. propaganda stuff. You know, just as she was about to, she was getting ready to talk about like gas and oil prices. Boom! Swagger's music hits. He comes out looking all sorts of pissed and just runs right down to the ring and starts going at Rusev. And this was the match that we deserved at fucking SummerSlam. You know, this was it. That was the match that we deserved at fucking SummerSlam. You know, but sadly we didn't, and aside from that, you know, Rusev wound up winning again, but Swagger did put more of a show and a fight towards him on it. He had the ankle lock on, and he had that thing on nice and good. Didn't have the ankle twisted the way I keep on saying that he really needs to if he's going to lock it in, but, you know, at the very least, if you're not going to do it like that, how about wind up at least do a body scissors and do a leg scissors and wrap yourself around the legs. That way it can look like, okay, he's holding him down now. So now he can't. Now if he's gonna try and crawl to the ropes, he's gonna have to drag you with him. Something like that. But another thing that was nice was when Rusev had the Accolade locked in. Swagger, he went to fight it, he broke out, and he started to pull himself up. You know, that's showing that, you know, yeah, it's nice to show that, you know, I'm putting up a fight and I can get out of this, and I'm going to fight and give every last little bit I can to kick your ass. You know, but Rusev wound up getting it in, locked it in real good, and Swagger passed out, and then the ref called for the bell, so yeah. Rusev wound up winning. Which case, yeah. Next up, main event time. Ambrose Wyatt. Absolutely love this match. This was beautiful. This was beautiful storytelling in motion right here, you know. And these two can work a match, no problem. They have got some great chemistry, hands down, you know. And it was just, it was great all around. I can't think of one bad part on that match. Well, actually, I can, but I'll get to that. But short from on how the ending. But aside from that, I can't think of anything that was bad about the match from the time the bell rang right up until from that point. You know, everything was good all around. And, you know, you've seen them two going at it and, you know, just throwing it all out there. You know, probably one of the cooler or not one of the cooler things. I was thinking of a different spot, but probably one of the funnier things I couldn't help but laugh at was when Ambrose was going under the ring looking for stuff. He pulled out a monitor and he's just watching. He's like, yeah, and he's actually checking himself out, and he's checking himself out while the cameraman's on him, and he sees it. He's like, yeah, yes, that's good, okay. And then just leaves it there. And them two, they were brawling all up and down. And then, now on how the match came to an end, Ambrose went to go and grab that same TV monitor, went to go hurl it, and went to go run and charge it and lunge it on Bray. Wire didn't go up first, so he took a few steps back, went to do it again, and then exploded right on his face. And then he was like, ah! You know, kind of like in the same way Hulk Hogan took that flash at King of the Ring in his last WWE match when he lost Yokozuna. But yeah, next thing you know, Bray, he grabbed him, grabbed Dean, and then wham, hit him with the Sister Abigail, got the 1, 2, 3. No, some people are mad that Bray won, but you know, in a way, I'm kind of good with that because, you know, you could play it now with Dean already doing a lunatic gimmick. You know, now he's desperate. He wants it now. He wants him, and he wants him now, and he's going to do everything he can to get his hands on Bray. And then they can lead to, like, some kind of a match between them two at at the Rumble. You know, you can give them to a cage. Or even yet, if they build this right, they can put them two at WrestleMania and do a Hell in a Cell there also. So, it can work. I'm just saying it could. I'm thinking on how, but it's all dependent on how they play it and on how they bill it. All in all, I thought the pay-per-view was good. It could have been better, but it was good. It didn't feel like a good pay-per-view. It felt more like a really good Monday Night Raw, which is why I'm saying it was good, but it wasn't that good. And, you know, I've said it before, you break it down, if you got the network, having a network, you're paying 33 cents a day, which equals out to about $9.99 a month. And I'm not trying to do that $9.99 joke, I'm just giving numbers. So, for 33 cents, you know, you can make the argument of you just saw a really good show, or if you saw a bad show, okay, I only had to pay 33 cents, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, that's all the time for this week's show, folks. So like all normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch the other episodes. Make sure y'all mark your calendars, folks, because January 6th, 2015, Vicious Rants 100 hits the air. And folks, I cannot stress this enough. I cannot wait. And unlike the propaganda and the douchebaggery that Nick Meltzer McGee keeps on spewing, no, he will not come anywhere near this show. Nick, You think you're going to step one foot into the Vicious Studios. You think you're going to get here on this show. Brother, you try that and I will make the death matches Jon Moxley was in Combat Zone look like a trip in Disney World. Go ahead. Test me, son. I dare you. Also, folks, don't forget to check out all of these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls. Make sure y'all check out Vicky's YouTube channel. I am Danny Sunday. Monkey Moss, Axel Mulligan. Make sure y'all check out Axel's show, Axel's Analysis. He was kind enough to let me guest on there this past week. We sat down, we broke down Final Battle and NXT TakeOver. Absolutely loved being on the show, brother. It was a real great honor to be on there. And it was great to be on there, and I was honored that you had me as your first guest ever on it. Also, don't forget to tune in, go and check out TRN, the Talkin' Wrestling Network. I sat down with B. Rotten. We sat down, we also talked about Final Battle, you know, as well as with Punk and UFC and all that shit. You know, we just, you know, absolutely loved it. Excuse me. Getting this damn Cucamongus bug going around, and I'm talking too much and I ain't putting in enough water. My throat's drying out. Also, make sure y'all check out Sunday's Segway, Sinfully Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Oliver Ben, Just a Stupid Mark. Make sure y'all check out Ollie Ben's and Masked Mark's past episodes of TNA Turnaround. Ollie, I hope you get Destination America. Mark, I hope Parts Unknown gets Destination America. Because honestly, y'all are starting to tread on some of my territory, doing reviews on some of these kind of shows. And again, Mark, you're a piece of shit. Also, don't forget to check out my client, who, as I keep on reiterating. So, Nick, stop spewing out so many lies and false propaganda, because you just keep making yourself look more and more horrible every time you do it. Make sure y'all go and follow my client, who, as I have said before, is the true Raw General Manager. We just allow to have a nice, pretty face for everyone to look at each week with these ones. She is Bronx Bitch number 4 ever out there on Twitter. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me, great, you hate me. Fuck yous.